Alright, hello, what's up? It's Gokuma. This isn't gonna be a long stream, I just have some time to kill, and so I'm only gonna be playing for like probably an hour. But probably get through like the next 4 characters in about an hour, so. Alright. So first character I'm playing as for today is Rashid. Who is a brand new character for Street Fighter V. Who also makes his return in Street Fighter 6. I think he returns as a DLC character, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, it's funny he makes that joke. Wait, everyone emits electricity where you're from? Because she's from Brazil. She has electric attacks. Blanca is fromish Brazil. I say fromish because originally he wasn't there, but he was practically been there since he was like a baby or something. And yeah. So anyways, as I play this game, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was this really weird ass fucking thing that's going on. Like all of a sudden we have a whole new phrase I've never heard of in my life called toxic positivity. And I get that, like, you know, there are situations that's like you can, you know, apply this phrase to, but the fact that this seems to be the internet's you know, like favorite word at the moment. Huh, Rashid seems pretty cool to use. But anyways, yeah, this seems to be the internet's like, or Twitter's like favorite word to use right now. There's been someone they've been going around like just abusing the fucking shit out of this word. It's like they learned, it's like being a child and you learned a new word and you just want to fucking use it all the time. And I even called this dude out on it. Like I was like, you know, you know, just I don't remember what I said exactly, but just, you know, to bring up the fact that you know, like they didn't learn about this phrase till like just now, and now they're just gonna fucking use it. And he's like, oh, well, it's been part of my vocabulary for a while. And like I fucking, so, you know, like I go look on Twitter, like I go to his profile, searched toxic positivity, and motherfucker before like this past week has only used toxic positivity once, and that was just before the end of the year. That was like November. So maybe he knew about it, but now it's like, you know, like now he just wants to fucking use it like whenever he can. And you know what, so yeah, so toxic positivity, if y'all don't know what it is, I mean, to be completely honest, like everyone barely knows what it is. But I think that the gist of what it probably should be, what its intention probably should be, is when someone maybe like they're just saying positive things about something and they're avoiding, you know, like saying the negatives for reasons, and that could vary. Like, you know, I think, you know, maybe this happens a lot like with friends, I would think, where it's like you know, it's like maybe you're trying to like sugarcoat things for friends, or you don't want to like hurt their feelings. So I don't know if you need to like judge them and or critique them in some way, it's like you only say the positives, but you won't say any of the negatives. Like you'll avoid any saying anything that would, you know, that would be a criticism of sorts. So you know, so I think that's what it's supposed to be. But of course, you know, the internet and Twitter, like they, you know, distort that shit. Um, you know, so to the point where, you know, it's like, you know, anyone that's you know, that's a shill, or you know, is, you know, a toxic person by way of their chillness, their positivity about something, you know, whatever. And the main reason that this even came about, that this even came about is because of Maximilian Dude. He was on a fucking podcast, and he tried to explain how, like, criticism works to a developer. Tried to explain that, like, if you're someone who just you go, and we've seen this a lot, like this happens a lot. Yeah, it's, you know, it's the few toxic positive people that I guess get, all of a sudden they get called out and shit. But like, you know, so we know, especially in Twitter, that being toxic negative, is that what we're gonna call it now, before we just call it fucking toxic. But so before, you know, like being, you know, like being toxic in a negative way, you know, was for people who just like there's a thing that they like fucking hate, that they just fucking hate, despite the fact that other people like it, and it becomes part of their identity. um you know, where it's like, yeah, this is just their thing, is just to like hate on shit. Because let's, okay, now I can rest for a bit. Because, you know, let's be honest, like everyone knows that, you know, negativity brings attention. And that's why you have like so many of these, you know, people call grifter accounts or whatever, because like they just talk shit and hate about whatever, and and they get all this engagement and shit. um you know, and I don't think it really works that way for like people that are positive about something either. But anyways, um so the point of, I think, what Max was trying to say was that you have people who that are like that, you know, it's like they just go online and they just fucking hate on shit, right? And if you're just straight up hating on something, especially something that's like is not even bad, like let's say it's a game, like it's a game that, you know, perhaps has been very well received, has made tons of sales, lots of people like it, but you're just here like just fucking hating the thing. And some of these people haven't even played the game, or maybe some of these people did, and maybe they just didn't really like it. And it's like, okay, it's clear that whether you played it or not, this game is not for you. You know, maybe if you like the games from the the other games from the series, you know, maybe that's one thing. And then this game came out, and like now you're just like really disappointed in it, and whatever. But even if that was the case, they do not convey that message in that way, in like a fucking like calm manner. No, they do it in a way to generate engagement, because nothing that they're saying is going to the developers or anything. It's just going to people on the internet in order to create engagement and such. So that's, and so the point is that that's not really criticism. When you're just like straight up, like if developers know you're just straight up hating on the game and not providing like any substance or anything, then yeah, they're not going to care. But if you're someone who likes the product, whether it's, like you really like it, but you have, some problems with it, or maybe like, you really wanted to like it, you tried to like it, but it just wasn't it, and I think maybe like, like Mortal Kombat 1 I think is a good example. Like, leading up to Mortal Kombat 1,
you win.
A lot of people were getting into like and playing Mortal Kombat, and they really liked these games. I think, Mortal Kombat 11 there seems to be like a little bit of discourse about it, but I think the game is like, like mostly positive, mostly fine. And then Mortal Kombat 1 comes out, and it was kind of like and I think the problems were like pretty noticeable on it. And so so for the people who are like, let's say they were big fans of Mortal Kombat, like, went since the return, with like, when the rebootish game came out, Mortal Kombat 9, it wasn't called that, it was just straight up called Mortal Kombat. Like from when that came out, Mortal Kombat 10, and then even if they were on board with Mortal Kombat 11, here comes Mortal Kombat 1, and they're just like, oh, like this is not like the others. Like, I do not enjoy this game like I did the other games. So I think, like, in that sense, their opinion and their criticism would hold some weight, because like, they were enjoying the series like up to this point, and now like not so much. Now there's a clear problem going on, and they would like to see this fixed, so that way, and either within that series, I mean within that game, or by the time we get to a sequel, things will be better, things will be improved. That's the hope. But you might have people who just like, they don't like Mortal Kombat. They just don't. They fucking hate Mortal Kombat. They don't like what it does. They don't like how it plays. Just they just hate the series in general. So those people, like, yeah, they should not be listened to. Like, why are we trying to accommodate like those few people? It's like they're not the demographic. Clearly they are not the demographic. Clearly, like, we can't convince them, which is again like Max's point, like we can't convince them to change their opinion or their feelings, regardless of what they do with the game. And so for the people who really hate, who've been hating on Mortal Kombat like this whole entire fucking time, to try to appease them, like, first off, like, it's still not a guarantee that you're going to get them on board. Like, they're probably still going to talk shit, like, even if you put all the things that they like. But also, now you're going to alienate the fan base that was there and did support. Like, for what? Like, for people who, like, all they have to offer is just to bitch. So yeah, so those people, like, they shouldn't even be bothered listening to, because it's clear, like, this series is not for you. Like, why are you wasting any time talking and hating about this series when it's not for you? But that's not how it works for them. they want to sit there, they want to bitch, and they want to hate, and they want to feel like whatever they have to say is valid, and it's not. It's like, like me, Dark Souls games, I don't care for. I do not care for at all. I need fucking fast-paced shit. Like, I need fucking mobility to move around and whatever. And that's not me saying like, Dark Souls is bad, or Souls games are bad or anything like that. I'm not the demographic. Is my point. When people ask me like if I play Souls games or whatever, like this is my response. I'm just like, no, it's not for me. I'm not into that gameplay, and that's a lot of different genres. That's plenty of different games like within those genres. But for people who we're in a time where just because someone didn't like something, all of a sudden it is bad. All right, something could be bad for you, but it doesn't make it like in itself bad. Except that like I'm gonna talk shit about Final Fantasy VIII. Like I don't give a shit. Like I know that it somehow for reasons it has its fans. And I don't understand why. I cannot comprehend this. so but it's not like I should expect Square or anyone to take me seriously, like if that's the case. It's like, it's pretty clear, like, oh, okay, like he fucking just hates Final Fantasy VIII, despite liking other games, in the series. So, either, if I was talking to Square, like, about this, either like, they might give a shit about my opinion, or but then clearly like there's a lot of people that did enjoy games. And I think what they would also try to look for is, all right, this person is saying all these things, what about the people that like the game? Like, what negative things are they saying, and is it matching up with what this dude is saying? And then I guess that's different, but yeah. So, but anyways, I think that's what Max's point is that you have people who just fucking hate on a game, hate on a series, and those people like shouldn't be listened to. And that the people that should be listened to are people that can actually provide constructive criticism, that they're not just hating on something for the sake of just hating on it, where they're like, hey, like I really like this game, or hey, like I really want to get into this game, it seems really cool, but and then run down the issues and problems. Like right now we're playing Street Fighter V, and a lot of people had a lot of things to say about Street Fighter V when that came out. But but in regards to Street Fighter V, Capcom listened to the fans. Like they listened to the people who have been playing Street Fighter since at the very least it's Street Fighter 2. They've been trying to listen to the people who've played Street Fighter, especially from Street Fighter 4. And now we have Street Fighter 6, and that's had such like a great and overwhelming response. And that's because you have people who like they want Street Fighter 5 to be great. They want to, get back into Street Fighter. In the hopes that, that the game will be better or that the next game will be better, and that's exactly what happened. Ah, motherfucker.
You win.
I actually really liked using Rashid. He's pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Oh, okay. So this poster has Ryu with all the new characters that were made for Street Fighter V. And then you have like fucking Laura. Like Laura, like she's just upside down with like her boobs all out and like her butt like all fucking tight and shit. Like yeah, like some of these artists like they have no fucking chill. They have no chill. They're like, oh, I get to draw a girl.
Thank you for playing.
But thank you though. Thank you for your hard work.
Street Fighter V.
So, all right. So next we got Laura. Laura is another new character for Street Fighter V. And so far, this is the only Street Fighter game that she's been in. Nothing yet. If she will, she is, if I'm not mistaken, she is the sister to Sean. Sean is a character from Street Fighter 3, and keep in mind, Street Fighter 3 takes place after Street Fighter 5, but before Street Fighter 6. And Sean is a young man, very young man, who I think like trains with Ken. And yeah, he shows up in Street Fighter 3, and he's someone who's like still developing his skills and whatnot. And I think he's a character that much of the fighting game community has been wanting to see. Since Street Fighter has come back, they've been wanting to see Sean, but they know they can't see Sean until we get to post Street Fighter 3, because because prior to Street Fighter 3, he's not doing anything. And then by the time we do meet him in Street Fighter 3, motherfucker is, he's training. He just started his training and whatnot. So it wouldn't make any sense to have him show up anytime before that. We've had other characters that are from Street Fighter 3 who have shown up in Street Fighter 4 or Street Fighter 5. But these are characters they've already been training. They've already been strong. Sean, not story wise and stuff, not so much. But now we're in a post Street Fighter 3 world, and I think he is one of the characters that the fighting game community would really like to see back and see what they do with him. And it's gonna have to be like another year of waiting, because we have our year 3 characters already lined up. So it's like, will we see him at all in Street Fighter 6, or do we gotta wait for another Street Fighter? But yeah, but this is supposed to be his sister. We'll go with her default outfit. So, but anyways, um, but yeah. So, like I said, I think that that was the gist of what Max was saying. Is that I think people who have basically who just have a genuine interest
Final round.
in a product, and but who have problems with the product, you know, these people should be listened to. Okay, Laura seems pretty cool. You know, not people who just sit here and just they spew hate and that's it. That's all they're known for. That's all they do. You know, they don't even play the game, or when they play it, they just didn't like it at all, and they have no interest in liking it. So then this causes the next part of this problem is that now that this creates an issue to Max's character, where people are now trying to call out on him. And to be honest, like I've been watching Max like as early as like when he was doing his like fucking Marvel vs. Capcom 3 videos, and I've been watching him like ever since, consistently as well. And you know, he can be very honest and at times brutally honest about games that even he likes, and criticisms and whatnot. You know, like he's done like a lot of, especially whenever they do like their top 10 games of whatever. You know, that's when you really start seeing like the criticisms come out. You know, when they're trying to determine like, you know, like, okay, where should a game even be in, should so and so game even be in top 10? You know, should so and so game even be this high? And that's where like, you know, you really start hearing the criticisms. You know, where some people have questioned Max is as specifically like in regards to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I have not played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but you know, people who liked Final Fantasy VII Remake definitely weren't big fans, or as much big fans as Rebirth, for reasons that I don't know. You know, I wouldn't know. I think I've heard stuff here and there, but I don't know firsthand. So, but anyways, now Max fucking loves Rebirth. He fucking loves this game, and he recognizes that it has problems, but for him, the problems just they don't fucking matter. And it's not that he's being, you know, toxic positive or whatever. It's just for some people, sometimes they get a game where it's like they get this game and they fucking love it. Like they fucking love this game. They fucking love everything about this game, and whatever problems that the game has, it's literally like no big deal. Like it means nothing. And that happens. And I'm sure I'm pretty positive for me, I can't think of any right now, but I'm pretty positive like for me, for a lot of other people, there's that game. There's that game that like you just fucking love, that other people have problems with, and whatever the problems were, it's just like that it's just not a big deal. Like you don't, it's not that you don't give a shit, it's just whatever problems like they're minuscule. Like yeah, they could be major for other people, but for you it's like I don't see the problem. Like okay, like you're telling me you couldn't get past this problem? You know, like and I think that that's the case with Rebirth, with Max. Is just that he fucking like he just loves this fucking game. and nothing about this game is a problem for him to enjoy, you know, and that's it. And he's gone over at length, like he's played this game, he streamed it, he's talked, you know, a million ways like about this game, you know, shared, you know, whatever thoughts, and yeah, like that's that. And like I said, sometimes that happens, you know. And I can't think of any, but I'm like dead ass certain that there's a game or games where like I fucking just love the shit out of. And like, you know, maybe like everyone else like hated it or whatever, and I don't give a shit. You know, I think if anything, maybe a good example could possibly be like Spider-Man 2. You know, the newest Spider-Man 2. Not the Spider-Man movie 2, not Spider-Man 2 Enter the Electro, the latest Spider-Man 2. And I bring that game up because that game has been getting like a whole lot of hate for the last couple years. And for me, I fucking love that game. I fucking love Spider-Man 2. To me, like, that game was great. Whatever problems people had with that game, like, what are you talking about? Did we play the same game?
Final round. Fight.
You know, and again, yeah, I get that it probably has like its issues. Like maybe they felt like, you know, okay, like maybe the Venom stuff was a little rushed or whatever. It would have been cool to spend, you know, more time with that or something. But I don't know. It was, like it was none of that was enough to bother me in any way. Like, none of that affected how I felt about that game at all. Like, I was since Jump, I was on board, and okay, I get to talk without having to play. You know, like, since I booted up that game, like, I was on board, and I was on board with that game till the very fucking end. I loved that game. Everyone else fucking hated it. You know, for like a bunch of reasons. You know, and I had issues with the previous Spider-Man game. I really loved that game, but like there were actually like some issues with that game, like that were like glaring issues that ultimately like didn't really affect my enjoyment of the game or anything like that. Like I really liked that game too. You know, but I did have like major criticisms with that game that did at least affect my overall view of the game, but not so much affecting you know, how much fun I ultimately had playing that game. Okay, it's back to playing. So anyways, so yeah, but that happens. All right? Like you can't like, you know, call a person out on toxic positivity when they play a game that you really like. And whatever problems other people have with it, if it's not a problem with you, then it's like, what do you want to do? You want to just like have us like all of a sudden like just develop like a problem with whatever you have a problem with? Like, no, it does not work that way. We feel the way we feel about it. I'm not trying to talk positive things about Spider-Man 2 to avoid the negatives. What I'm saying is like I don't know what you're talking about. It's like I can't talk about negatives if I do not feel like there were negatives. And that's Max's case when it comes to Rebirth. Like, you know, this dude just really fucking loved this game. He just like fucking loved the shit out of it, and there's like nothing you can do to get him to, like, you know, like, you could bring up like all the bad points that other people have had, but if he's just, if he doesn't just see that, like, you can't acknowledge something that you don't feel just because everyone else did. So which brings me to like my final point about all this is that like, I saw a comment that someone made where it seems like the people that are using the term toxic positivity are the people who use it whenever someone likes something that they don't. And the person that I mentioned earlier, who is, I don't know, like, I guess maybe they're a Final Fantasy like fanboy, or maybe Final Fantasy 7 fanboy or something, but who has a huge problem with Rebirth, you know, was one of the people that were trying to call out like Max on his shit. And but what he's doing is exactly like and really quick, like, whenever I'm a female character and I get to fight Vega, like, I will fucking pick Vega. I will fucking beat up Vega. But anyways, but yeah, so this person, you know, is probably like a Final Fantasy fanboy, whatever, you know, probably really liked Remake, but really hated Rebirth, and then sees, you know, the, you know, one of the, like, you know, I guess a pretty big, you know, like, influencer, you know, like, thanks, like, you know, like Maximilian, who has nothing but praise for a game that, like, for a game he dislikes. And all of a sudden it's toxic positivity. And it's like, no, bitch, he just really likes a game that you don't like. And you're accusing him of toxic positivity because of that. You know, I'm sure, like, you know, if someone hears how I feel about Spider-Man 2, you know, they would like accuse me of toxic positivity. But it's like, for us to be toxic positivity, it would mean that like there are negatives are in the game that okay, it would mean that there's negatives about the game that we feel are negatives, like that we found to be negative, and to acknowledge as negatives. But also, whatever negatives are there would have to be a big enough deal for us to even, like, you know, to waste our time talking about it. If there's a problem with the game and it's not really a big deal to us, like, why would we talk about it? Like, I'm not gonna remember every little fucking problem I had with a game. I remember problems I had with Spider-Man 1 because those were bigger, glaring problems for me. So those problems are much more memorable to me. For Spider-Man 2, like, other than like maybe like Venom being a bit too rushed, that's it. And even then, like, that didn't really bother me. That's just, you know, me, like, I'm just pointing out a negative just to point out a negative. With the first Spider-Man, the negatives I do have is like stuff that's like genuine. Like, I feel genuine, like it's something that I generally like wish was better. But with Spider-Man 2, it's like I don't necessarily get that, you know. So Let me beat up on Ken real quick. All right, so Laura, she seems pretty cool. She seems pretty cool. So, oh, what? She says something about your son. We'll do something with something. Dark side. Oh, I think that's Sean there. On the name of promoting the Matsuda style, the only thing that burns brighter than the southern sun is Laura's passion. Yeah, that definitely has to be Sean. This could be how Ken met Sean. Like, he may have met him through Laura, and perhaps Sean, because you see, like, Sean is like dressed completely different than everyone else. But it could also be because maybe he's like a noob, like he just started practicing this shit. But then again, like, Laura's just, she's the master, so she has to do whatever. And you see Sean just get whooped right here, and it's possible that Sean, you know, feels like, yeah, jujitsu is not for me. And then he meets Ken, and all of a sudden, like, he's like, oh, this is what I want to do.
Thank you for playing.
I want to fight like him because that feels right. And yeah, no, that happens with martial arts. Like, I went through a lot of martial arts styles before I found the one that felt right for me. It's like, just because you want to learn martial arts, just because you want to fight, learn how to fight, like, doesn't mean like whatever style that you do is going to be good for you. You know, it's like there's just certain styles or whatever that you do, and it just feels right. Like, it just fucking resonates with you. So anyways, next we got Armika. Yeah, she got some crazy outfits. We'll go with her default outfit. All right, so we got Armika, ours for Rainbow, and she is. Was she in Street Fighter 4? I'm trying to think really hard if she was in Street Fighter 4. I don't know if she was in Street Fighter 4. Fuck.
Final round. Fight.
I want to say that she was, but now I don't know for sure. But anyways, whether she was in Street Fighter 4 or not, I don't remember. But she did originally make her debut in Street Fighter Alpha 3 is where she initially made her debut. I'm pretty positive she was in Street Fighter 4 though. I'm pretty fucking positive she was in Street Fighter 4.
You win.
But yeah, but she made her debut in Street Fighter Alpha 3. So, and she hasn't really, other than probably Street Fighter 4, like, she hasn't really showed up in much other things other than that. But yeah, So she maybe shows up as Street Fighter 4, shows up in this, and you know, but she's not in Street Fighter 6, and it remains to be seen if she's gonna be in Street Fighter 6.
Fight.
I think she has grab. I think her moves are like half grab. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So our Mika's kind of cool. Like, I've never been that good with her.
You win.
Like, is my problem. But other people have. Looking for a friend, my teammates might know something. Oh, I wonder who he's looking for.
USA.
But anyways, yeah, so to leave off with this whole toxic positivity bullshit.
Final Fight.
You know, so I do think toxic positivity is being used towards people who really like a game that other people don't like. And people can really like a game, and whatever problems like other people might have with it, like, isn't something that they recognize or anything, like that they like that it registers as a problem. That happens where people just they like a game so much that whatever negatives other people have with the game, it's not a thing with them, and whatever negatives that they do get isn't enough to like affect how they view or feel with the game. But I feel like people are gonna start coming under fire whenever like they just sound too positive and stuff. And you have like this one dude who's just going around, and now he's like, you know, someone says something positive about you know, like a game or something, and you know he's demanding like fucking more like explanation shit. It's like, no, like they're not fucking reviewers. Like, what I mean by people is like people in the fucking comments, just like, you know, like whatever randos, you know, like, you know, who give whatever thought about a game, or you know, a game that they really like, and all of a sudden like motherfuckers like, you know, like, oh, like fucking explain, or you're just being fucking toxic positive whatever. Which is stupid. It is stupid, and you're stupid if you know, try to do shit like that.
Japan. Final round. Fight.
Oh, I didn't even move. Trying to do the move. Trying to do that. There we go. Damn. Our Mika, she is really good. She's a pretty good character. I just couldn't be that good with her. Oh, now I get to talk, and now I have no idea what the fuck to talk about because I already made all my talking points. All right, well,
Ready.
Marvel Tokon, right?
Fight.
I tried to guess what the other characters would be, but something I did not realize was that apparently, after watching like other people's videos, I watched Max's video where now he was trying to guess what the rest of the roster and teams could be, and I watched a video from Sajam, you know, kind of about the same thing, but or at least addressing the whole team thing. Like, he wasn't trying to guess the roster, but he was addressing like the team aspect, and that there's a picture, right, that shows 5 characters in that picture, and it's like, oh, who will the next team be? And in that picture, like, it shows Storm, who's the team leader of the X-Men, and the other characters that are team leaders, if that's to be believed, is Captain America, Spider-Man, Doctor Doom, and Ghost Rider. And so now that throws my original theory just like out the goddamn window. You know, now it's like, if anything, now I'm confused. And this is why I'm confused, because back before that picture was there, and I noticed it, and I was trying to think of like the potential teams. I was thinking that, okay, so you have the X-Men, and then you're gonna have the Avengers, and then yeah, you're gonna have like a Spider-Man team, but like not with Spider-Man characters, but they're going to represent like the younger generation of heroes. You know, so it would have theoretically included Miss Marvel and Ghost Rider, because it is Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. It is the youngest of the Ghost Riders. So that was I was thinking, and that there was going to be a space team. I honestly was believing that there was going to be a space team, and now, like, I don't know anymore. Now I don't fucking know at all whatsoever. My theories. So we're still gonna have. All right, so let's talk about what we do know is that there is going to be an Avengers team, like, for sure. Who the other Avengers is going to be, like, who the fuck knows? Because we got a lot of fucking Avengers. And, you know, they could go with some safe picks, like the Hulk, Black Panther, something. Honestly, like, I think one of them is going to be Black Panther. But you know, origin, or may not. And we could have, like, a totally, like, off the wall, like, pick. You know, we we could have a character that, like, you know, who has had history with the Avengers, but, like, people don't know about. And that could be a lot of people. That could be a lot of people. So yeah, it's just, so who knows what's gonna, you know, who's gonna be with the Avengers. You know, with Doctor Doom, that just sounds like he might be the leader of a villain team. So I don't think, because at first I was thinking, like, okay, like, probably Thanos could be part of the team, but, like, it's like that would imply that Thanos is okay being led by Doctor Doom. And no, I don't think that's going to be the case. So I think what's going to happen is you're going to have Doctor Doom, and then I think the rest of the villains are going to be villains that, you know, they're going to be, like, top-notch villains, but they're not villains that are necessarily known for leading teams. They're going to be villains. They're all going to be villains that do not, like, rank at the level of a Doctor Doom. You know, like, they'll be up there, but they're not going to quite be like Doctor Doom. You know, or I could be very wrong, and they'll just be shoving villains there, and it's like they expect, like, you know, to fucking be led by Doctor Doom. But no, I think what's going to happen is there's going to be I think there's just going to be, like, lesser villains. You know, but still great villains. And that could be anyone, man. Marvel has so many goddamn fucking villains to choose from. We can choose. We have the all-time greats. You know, we have you know, we got people who you know, we got villains that are regulars, you know, that are part of that are part of certain characters' rogue galleries. And then, you know, and then we have like some fucking just weird ass fucking villains. We have a lot of weird ass fucking villains that they could easily choose from. Easily. So yeah, we got a lot going on. We got a lot going on.
I'll fight this battle. What? Final round. Fight.
So yeah, so for sure we're gonna have an Avengers team. We're gonna have a villain team. It's probably, you know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be Masters of Evil. That's what it's gonna be. Oh, I could have done something there, and I didn't realize. So I think that's what the team, Dr. Doom's team's probably gonna be. It's probably gonna be possibly Masters of Evil. So other than that, that leaves us with the last two teams. We have a Spider-Man team and a Ghost Rider team. We have a team where the youngest Ghost Rider is somehow the leader of. And we have a Spider-Man team that where Spider-Man's the leader of, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be Spider-Man related characters. So I think Miss Marvel will be part of this team because I think it's going to be like, you know, either street level heroes or younger generational heroes or something that's going to be part of this team. So but yeah, so who else could be part of the team? Well, that could be a whole lot of characters, you know, because we don't necessarily know like what the parameters are going to be for you know, a Spider-Man team. Like, I mean, we got it could be Miss Marvel, it could be Punisher, it could be Daredevil, it could be Iron Fist, it could be Luke Cage. You know, if we're talking about people that are you know, like, you know, known for being, you know, like Spider-Man supporting characters, like, you know, it could be Prowler. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Prowler. You know, maybe we'll get a Morbius, maybe Black Cat. You know, it's just, you know, maybe Shang-Chi. You know, it's just the options, man. The fucking options. It's out there, you know, like, so, you know, like, who the fuck knows who's gonna be part of that Spider-Man team, whether it's people who are, you know, and the only thing that I will now call, because Spider-Man is the leader, this team is going to be called Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. That's going to be the team. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Still many things about the ring that Armika has to learn. This gives her the will to keep moving forward. Oh, damn. Damn. This dude's name is Rockin' Jellybean. Dude, this fucking Jesus. Like, motherfucker did artwork for this, and I tell you, it's like, oh, I get to draw women. I am gonna fucking just go to town. And, you know, thank you for your work. Thank you for your hard work. I appreciate it. And yeah, we're going to leave it at that. Because damn. Because damn.
Thank you.
Someone was really horny. Anyways. Alright, we're going to play as one more character. This one I got to try to get through like as quick as possible because I need to fucking leave.
Street Fighter 5.
Like, if anything, I should be leaving now, but I got to leave within the next 2 minutes. Alright, we're just gonna go with his default. No, we're just gonna go with default. Motherfucker, like, fucking shakes the earth when he, like, flexes his muscles. So yeah, so Zangief. Zangief is an OG Street Fighter 2 character. Of course, he makes his return from Street Fighter 4. He's, you know, he made his initial debut in Street Fighter 2, and has been in so many fucking Street Fighter games ever since. You know, he's been in Street Fighter Alpha 3, he's been in, you know, some of the fighting game ones. I mean, some of the Versus games. Not a whole lot of them, but some of them. Like, I know he's been in X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Marvel Super vs. Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. But yeah, no, his ass has showed up in like so many fucking games. You know, so then he returns from Street Fighter 4, he's in Street Fighter 5, and he's in Street Fighter 6 as like a fucking launch character. He's in Street Fighter 6. So yeah, this motherfucker ain't going anywhere. Zangief is not going anywhere. Oh, motherfucker.
You win.
So yeah. So I think this is what the teams are gonna be before I get to Ghost Rider. So we got X-Men, we got Avengers, we got Masters of Evil, we got Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and now that leaves Ghost Rider. So Ghost Rider, to me, the most obvious fucking team that they could have with Ghost Rider is Midnight Suns. It has to be. It fucking has to be. So his team is going to be supernatural based. All right, like, who is all the people? Well, if we think of straight up like Midnight Suns team, like Blade has been part of that team, so that's like we're gonna see Blade. If we're making a Midnight Suns team, we're gonna see Blade. And then we're going to see Um, like Doctor Strange. I would have to think Doctor Strange is gonna be part of the team, but or maybe not, or maybe not. We could get Man Thing or something.
Win.
You know, we could get Morbius in on this shit. You know, again, it's just the options, man. The fucking options. You know, so who knows? Like, who knows where we're going from here? But now I think like this is the direction of the teams. But then this is the problem, though. Is what happens with Star-Lord, because he was the whole reason why I thought there was going to be a space team, because Star-Lord. And so now Star-Lord has to fit somewhere. The only team that I could think he fits in is either Avengers, which I don't think so, or Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends. Those are the only. If anything, he might be actually part of Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends team. That's the only thing I could think of.
You win. Brazil.
But yeah, but that's what I think the teams are gonna be. It's gonna be Avengers, X-Men, Masters of Evil, Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends, and Midnight Suns.
Fight.
Motherfucker.
You win.
All right, well, this is going. I'm gonna start getting ready because yeah, I gotta dip.
Ready. Fight. Japan. Final round. Fight.
Problem with this game as opposed to like other fighting games is like there's just so much I gotta get through before I get to the next fucking fight. Like I have the ending thing to get through and I can't just fast forward it. Then this shit has to go through, and then like they gotta show me this fucking screen. And none of this I can skip, and then we gotta go to the fucking versus screen. Like, yeah, I can't fucking do anything about this.
Final round. Fight. You win. Secret area. Final round. Fight.
Motherfucker, come on, grab a bitch. Oh my god, I'm trying to fucking do his grapple. Oh my fucking god. Just fucking keeps jumping. That slowed me down. I don't know what the fuck happened there. I was doing it fine
You
for the longest
win.
time, and then all of a sudden it's like, now he just keeps jumping.
Another fight.
Oh, and I gotta fight this bitch.
I'll fight this battle. Why? Because it is my duty.
Final round. Fight.
No idea why he has to be the secret character, like, for new challenge. Like, I don't fucking know. I don't know why he always has to be the extra fight here. Like, it just makes no fucking sense. Okay, fine. Jesus.
Not my day.
You win.
Beat up on Vega. Alright, well I got 2 more fights. So I should be done with it soon. I'm gonna probably be a little late, but it's fine. Because by the time everyone else gets situated and starts cooking and whatever, yeah. Plus, this is standard me. I'm always fucking late. Because
Final round.
from the Caribbean, this is what we do.
Secret area. Final round. Fight.
Might be annoying because Zangief is kind of slow. But, you know, he does hit and grab hard. So does Bison. Fucker. At what point do you want to do a goddamn fucking grapple? Fuck it, I'm just gonna drop kick you in the face.
You win.
Alright. Oh, I'm gonna be late.
Thank you for playing.
Alright, so that's gonna be it for me for now. So, alright. That's gonna be it tonight. Hopefully, maybe I'll be on tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. But if not, maybe Sunday. Anyways, alright. Later.